Hi guys, and welcome back to our second season of GDF Diaries. I'm so excited. I can't believe we're on the second season. This season I'm going to be focusing on men and boys. Why? Because I feel like their voices need to be heard as well. So our very first guest is one of my close friends. His name is Micah. Thank you, Micah, for coming on the show. I've known Micah since 2012. So that's like 10 years. It's quite a long time. We've been friends since uni. And yeah, here we are. And like, he's coming on my platform to share his story, which is amazing. So can you like introduce yourself and just tell us a bit more about yourself and plug all your stuff, like your socials, what you do, all of that?
Um, my name is Micah, as she said, Micah Fanimo. Yeah, I've known Jackie for 10 years, since 2012. Currently, would I say my job's boring? It's all right, I work in finance like most people do.
I
Um,
don't, but
well, some people do. I've got a food page as well, so I'm really passionate about that. Feast with Fanimo. Apart from that, nothing else really. Just my Instagram, which is Feast with Fanimo. In fact, that's what I do. My passions are football. Really passionate about football, gym, food. Yeah, those are things that make me happy. And church. Oh my God, yeah. Can't. So I should have put that first, but yeah, we'll speak about that more as you go.
no worries. Thank you. Well, with that being said, let's just dive straight in. Can you share your story with me? And let me know that I actually don't know. So I don't want people to think that I already know what
I
you
never told you.
I don't think so.
Oh right, that's
So I'm
surprising.
actually like, oh,
But to be fair, I spoke to Jen. I don't know if you know Jen. I remember we spoke not too long ago, and I told her. She was just like, "You never told me this," but I always used to think I told a lot of people um, regarding this story. So this is a story about domestic violence, isn't it? Oh, okay. So um, this was my first official relationship in the UK. So basically, I got sent to Nigeria when I was younger, for being naughty.
I was about to say, was you naughty boy?
Yeah, I was,
Naughty
they
boy over
correct
there.
you. But obviously, my first official relationship in the UK, I would say like my first relationship where um, sexual things were happening with that. Like your first proper relationship, that's what they label it. Obviously, you've got that boyfriend, girlfriend when you're in secondary school, but it's not
It's
that.
not serious.
It's not serious.
They're
So my
cancelled.
first
I don't
official
even know what
relationship
that is.
with her for 4 years. Um, like all relationships, it starts out good. It was going good.
You was together for 4 years.
Yeah, it was for 4 years.
Quite a while.
So
Yeah.
into the third year of the relationship. So this would be the second year of uni. Um, we got into some issues. There was a lack of trust, I believe, from her side, and I think it was because when I was in uni, she was in college, but my social policy class was 32 people, 30 women, 2 boys. It was me and Peter. So that's how we became best friends. He sat next to me the first day, and we've been inseparable since.
That's cute. Shout out to Peter.
So to be us, you've come to uni. There's 30 people in your class. Well, there's 32 people in your class. 30 of them are girls, and they say you have to do group work. Something like, you have to. Everybody's got to take everybody's number. Like that's how uni worked. So you can imagine. And I was very very carefree then. So go through my phone. Who's this? Like you just see like different girls. Like oh, they're just in our class. We just need their number. I didn't see it as a big thing then. Maybe I was a bit being naive. Maybe I didn't because I didn't explain it to her. But she just sort of was just like, oh yeah, we've just had. I'm not gonna go and tell you. Oh look, I've spoken to this person. This person. It was just like there and them. So between the second and third year, we had a lot of issues. She had a lot of trust issues with regards to me just being in uni away from her, and even though I was doing my best to make it happen, as you know, I was lucky to drive in uni. I was driving early. Um, I was working. Things were good for me. I would say that I was always been blessed by that. But I tried my best with the relationship. I'd drive from Cambridge to Hackney to pick her up, bring her to Cambridge to stay with me, drop her back to Hackney, and then come back up. Like I was doing everything I could to just
Nice.
yeah, I was doing the most. As in people, just doing the most, just doing everything that I could have just to make the relationship work at that time. And then I remember there was one there were some people she just wasn't comfortable with me talking to. And I said, okay, cool, I won't speak to them. You know, I was just doing everything you can to appease. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, I understand you're not with me, and when you're younger, then it goes by naturally. Even if you, as you're older now, think about it when you're younger. Then your mind can run. You know, a girl can say, "Oh, you might be doing this, doing that." So even though I used to work nights then during uni, when she calls me, I'll pick up. I'll call her. Like she always knew that when I wasn't in class.
Reassuring her, wasn't
always reassuring her. So, and that's all I knew at that time. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it with regards to that. I was just like, let me keep on reassuring you. As long as you're happy, I'm happy. You know, keep it like that. But it started to deteriorate because just lack of trust. And I remember we had an argument, like we had a serious argument. I can't even remember what it was about, but it just got so heated. And I remember that was the first day, like, she slapped me, and I was just like, okay, man, I'm a pretty big guy, so you're gonna have to slap me really hard. But I think what happened was that she spat at me. That was when I was just like, whoa, I can never forget it. And like, because she was...
Process that.
Yeah, no, because I could never...
What the hell?
I could never, because I remember, I could never forget, because, you know, with me, I'm very... I don't learn by physical punishment. I learn, like, if somebody tells me off, or if somebody says something that hurts, it will fester, it will dwell in me. That's one of the reasons my parents sent me back to Nigeria, because beating me just
clearly didn't work.
It stopped working. So they would say something to me, it would fester. And I remember, like, when she, you know, she's got mad, she's punches, scratching, blah, blah, like, and at that time, I wasn't too sure if you could even... I wasn't even sure as a man if you're even allowed to restrain a woman. Not even, bruv, just bobbing and weaving. Because if you restrain, they'll be like, you put your hands on me. So I was just like, you know what? And I can never forget, like, when she was punching, kicking and screaming, I just said, listen, you got to stop. And I literally had to pin her down. I never forget, I pinned her down, I was on top of her, and she spat up, like, she's down and she spat up at me. And you know when when you're cooking or something and then something just splashes on your face, you're just like, there was literally like no reaction from me from that point. And I don't know if you've ever gotten, I know boys get in trouble when they're younger a lot. Like, let's say I've done something to my mum now and she stops beating me, and then there's always a time, like, especially as a man, your mum will look at you and it's a look of disappointment. That can really eat at you. So I remember I looked at her and I just said, like, you know, I didn't react, didn't do anything. I was just like, just got up, and I never forgot, went to my room, closed the door. And then I think she came in and sat at the end of the bed. I just went to sleep, woke up that evening, didn't say anything to her. She sat and I just went to work, because I actually couldn't I didn't think that the relationship would deteriorate to that point. And I think the mistake I made, which we'll probably get around to, is that I didn't deal with it. I just didn't say anything. And I think as much as somebody is sorry about that at that time, let's say they're sorry and stuff, if you don't really discuss it, it's not dealt with. It's still open-ended. Yeah. Okay. So from that point, the relationship, maybe subconsciously, deteriorated so badly. There was constant arguments, constant verbal abuse to each other, like from me to her and from her to me. So I feel that because I didn't really deal with that situation, I was just saying whatever, because I was like, wow, that's a disrespect.
I was
literally say that, do not care.
Lack of respect for you.
Lack of respect. So
like, okay.
I never forget, there was one time we drove to Lakeside and we're going on about these arguments. She said, oh, you've got girls in your phone from uni. And I was just like, you know who they are. Like, I literally brought her to uni multiple times, walked through open access with her, let her meet each and every single person that, oh, this is this person, this is this person. So you can put a face to the name, so you know, and you at least know that, okay, cool, what I try to do is that when I'm speaking to somebody, when I'm speaking to her about my friend, I won't say, like, if I'm speaking about you now, I won't say, oh, my friend. I'll say, oh, Jackie. So you know that, okay, cool. It paints a mental picture with regards to that. So I remember, like I said, one time we were in Lakeside, we saw Saskia, and I said, oh, this is Saskia, blah, blah. She was like, oh, okay. Bit of attitude. I was just like, okay, don't know what's wrong with you. Even Saskia was like, messaging me after. She was just like, she was moving bad. She was moving off. I'm going to the car now, and I wasn't an active Twitter user then. So, but I had Snapchat, and I had, I think I had Instagram. I can't remember. And I can never forget. She just asked me to delete everything. Like, I was sitting in the car.
Bumper.
Yeah, and I was just like,
that is proper controlling.
You get, but then
crazy.
looking
Obviously,
back,
at that time we wouldn't.
I'm not thinking. I'm just thinking, God, like, is this what it comes to? And I was just like, you know what? To make you happy, yeah. Because I'm not saying I was perfect either. There were bare things that I didn't do correctly either. But I was never like, oh, let me go through your phone, or like, I know that because
But
I don't
it's still
think
controlling what she did. It was not right.
I remember she did delete, and I was just like, and I actually sat in front of her. I can never forget it. I was just like, okay, cool, I'm going to delete it. Deleted Snapchat, deleted Instagram, deleted, I don't think I was on Twitter then, but I know
deleted
it
the
was,
socials that you use.
Yeah, I know it was Instagram, and I'll never forget, Instagram, from that day, I never recreated one until 2019. So that's about 6 years, because I was just like, when you delete it, and Instagram had changed so much within that 6 years. I remember when I downloaded it, I was just like, that didn't end up working because we still broke up. I've now tried to like get back together, try to make it work, and this is where I come to the crux of the core of the story. And I don't know, I don't know to say if this shaped me in a positive or negative way, but I took a bit of both, and I don't think I came out of any of those cycles until late 2018, 2019, when I completely like took a break from women. I didn't date for like an entire year. But I've gone to her house. Uni has finished. We're not together. We're trying to see if we can make it work. And I can never, this day, I can never forget. I remember every detail crystal clear. So we're in Hackney, yeah, and we're walking, and the day started off completely fine. I was actually meant to go to Cambridge for a shift in Sainsbury's, but I just told them I'm not feeling well. I just stay. Yeah, as a love first. So we end up walking. We're just walking. We're just enjoying ourselves. The earlier part of the day. Now come to the evening. We've just had it's just a little plaything. Turned into an argument. It literally turned into an argument. And I said the relationship would deteriorate. So we just argued over dumb crap. And she did something, and I took offense to it. And I said, bro, if I did that, you would not like it. And then she was just like, nah, blah, blah. She was just arguing with me, going back and forth. And then this is where I learned when I have an issue, I just keep quiet. It was very bad. I'm still trying to do right by that, but it got bad because I just said the only way I can seize control in this situation, I just need to shut up. I'm not going to say anything to you. So I can never forget, we were walking back to her house and she was going on, and I just kept quiet. So we've got back to her house, and I said, okay, cool. I'm packing my stuff. I'm going home. I just need to get home. I need to get out of here because I knew what was coming, and we were upstairs in her house. No one was home, just me and her. And she's going on, just right now. I said, okay, cool, I'll go. I'm walking down her stairs, and she said, no, you're not going. So I'm trying to put on one shoe. She's taking off one shoe. I'm trying to put on my jumper or my t-shirt. Like, let's say I take my t-shirt to put it on, she'll put it off. I try and take my bag. She's pulling it off me. Okay, so I said, you know what? I'm not taking any of that. I just need to get out. Like, let me get out. So now let me get my body outside. So I put my phones in my pocket. I've gone down to the bottom of the stairs, and I've put on my shoes. Now, as we're going on the story, I'm just going to say, yeah, her house is behind a block of flats. So if you come out of her house, you will have to go through a block of flats before coming out on the main road. So we've gotten down to the bottom of the stairs. She's standing in front of me saying, no, you're not going. No, you need to speak to me. You need to speak to me. And obviously I feel that because I stopped speaking to her, she was annoyed. But I knew that if I had said something, that situation is it's just gonna, like, I'd rather go away, cool off. And who knows what would have happened if I had gone away to cool off. She's in front of me, heckling me, like pushing her hand on my chest and pushing her hand on my head. Like, you're not going anywhere. You need to talk to me about this situation, not going. I just said, don't touch me. Please don't touch me. She really touched me about 4 or 5 times before I got to the bottom of the stairs. I said, just let me get home. I was really calm at this point. Let me get home. I put on my shoe. She's taking it off. I've taken my phone. She's now taken my BlackBerry off me, and she's taken the battery out. She's taking the battery out of the phone. I said, God. I said, God. This is my God. I was just like, oh my God. I said, okay, cool. Put on my shoes. I'm walking to the door. She's ran to the door, and you know, like a child, like, you're not going anywhere. I said, come away from the door. I'm like, no. I said, seriously, if you don't come away from the door, I'm actually going to use force and get, like, you're being ridiculous now. Let me go home. I was like, bro, let me go home. Like, no, you need to speak about it. I said, no, I need to go home. So she wasn't allowing me. So I actually pulled her from the door. Like, I pulled her from the door. As I'm pulling her there, she's pulling on my shirt. She's pulling on my shirt. She's scratching me, pulling on my shirt. I said, I'm going, like, literally, I'm going. Remember, one of my phones is already in there. So I've said, you know what, at this point, it's your phone. So I've ran out. I've now managed to run out from the house. But remember, as you run out of the house, there's a block of flats. So as soon as I've gone through the house, she's behind me. She's now pulling me. She's now punching me from the back. So, but obviously, because I'm bigger than her, she's punching me, but I'm just like, when you're hitting me, I'm just like, whatever, I'm going to the next door. I've already made up my mind. I've gone through the next door, and then she's like pulled me back. The shirt has torn. I'll never forget, like, the shirt was torn. I said, I'm pissed at this point. I'm just like, are you all right? Like, what are you doing? Let me go. She took one of my shoes. By this time, I'm out of breath. I've tried to hold her and everything. I'm literally out of breath.
I don't mean to, like, it's not funny, but
I'm literally out of breath. I've got to sit on there. So I've gone out of the house, gone into the block of flats. But in the block of flats, like every block of flats, there's a staircase. I've sat on the staircase. I've just kept quiet. I'm trying to catch my breath. She's still standing in front of me saying, you need to talk to me. You need to talk to me, blah, blah. Could I have talked to her at that point? Probably. But I already knew that I'd been with her long enough to know that the situation was not going to be resolved there and then. I just needed to go. Okay, cool. I said, if you stop me from going, I'm actually going to use force. Like, I'm going to actually restrain you. She's like, nah. So I've now tried to move. That's when it now started happening. She started punching. I've tried to restrain her. I'm trying to restrain her. She scratched me. I started bleeding. The remaining of the shirt tore. My one of the joggers was now like halfway, if that makes sense. One of my socks has come off as well in this scuffle. But because she was of a fairer complexion, this is why, like, because she was a fairer, I'd made sure that
you was already thinking.
Like, I was already thinking ahead. Like, I was just like, I can't. Like, even in my restraining, I can't even do. There's only so much that I can do. So I've restrained her again. I've put my knee on her hands, like to her chest. I put my knee on top. And then as I've restrained, I've now run to the door to go to the main road. Unfortunately, this door has the button that you press and it goes, so I managed to press it, gone outside. But obviously, as I've gone outside, because people could see what was happening between us. And it was like so they were looking, oh, hey, stop. So I've managed to get outside now. But as I've got outside, you could see like just blood. There's no top. There's one shoe. I remember I had the Versace's. No, she's looking calm. That's the problem. So I've got outside. And then when I got outside, I think this is the mistake I made. I went to go and sit down on the step next to a building. Because By the time I got outside, I had no top on. It was October. I had no top on. I had one shoe on. I was looking mad and I had scratch marks with blood on me. Like, where am I going? Like, literally, and my phone's inside. She's now called the police. Yeah, she's called the police. I'll never forget this. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I've just been assaulted.
You're lying.
Nah. I've just been assaulted, X, Y, and Z. And I remember I just sat down and I said, you're calling the police. I said, okay, cool, I'll sit down. I'll wait. I ain't got nothing. They're going to see me anyway, and they're going to see you. So the police have come. I've sat down in about 10, 15 minutes. They said, she said, yeah, he's just sitting out there, blah, blah. So they've come now, and then she's now said to the police that, he's assaulted me. I can never forget the police officer's look. He's looked at her, and then he's looked at me. And he's just like, he has assaulted you. Like, she looked calm, because I can never, like, I'm looking beaten up. I was wearing those Zara tracksuits before this Nike Tech and everything. It was the Zara. You had the Ralph Lauren, then you had the Zara tracksuits, which were everyone. I don't think I had it. It was battered. So the police now came to ask me what happened. I said, listen, I'm just trying to restrain her to go home. Like, I needed to go home. Like, look at me. Like, literally look at me. Does it look like I've assaulted this woman? Like, if I have assaulted her, she would know about it. Like, literally, you would know. I'm much bigger than you. If I was to punch you or to scratch you, there was no scratch, no scab. You know what? There was not even coloring. You know, if you hold like a live person and then like, or you hold somebody too hard, that's of a fair complexion, it might turn red a bit. Now, because I knew like what, and then I was in Hackney. Bearing in mind, I'd never been, I'm going to say I've never been arrested before this point, but I had to rethink that. But yeah, I've never been arrested.
Lucky boy. Okay.
So they've actually arrested me. They did arrest me. They put me in a car. They put her in a car. They took me to Stoke Newington police station. Cool. So they put me in, and they booked me in. They've actually put me in a, and I remember he took my details down and he was just like, it's like he was shocked that there's a black man that's been arrested and there's no details of it. I've never been, there were no details in the system at all. Just like, okay, fair enough. And then they've taken some swab test things or whatnot, and then they've put you in the cell. So they put me in my.
I can't believe you actually got arrested for that, because you actually did not do anything.
So I put me in my holding cell, and it's the first time.
Get me out!
I was just like, rah. So in the movies, this is what it really looks like. Because I didn't want to think about the situation. I was just like, rah, I'm actually in a holding cell. Like, are you taking the piss? In the back of my mind, I knew. I was just like, if I tell my mom about this, mom's gonna kill me. You're gonna kill me. So.
Was there a way of like you guys' kind of relationship, like going?
No, yeah, my mum knew.
Oh, okay.
Her mum, like both our families knew we were dating. I had been to her house.
But they didn't know it was bad. Like,
no, they didn't know it had deteriorated to that.
Okay.
Nobody knew. Okay. I didn't tell anybody. Like, even from the time she spat and everything, I just
kept that to yourself.
I felt that that's one of the things that you just keep in house, especially if you think you want to make the relationship work. This kind of thing that I just feel like you look over, see if you can make it work. I'm playing inside the cell, blah blah. They've come out to give me an interview. I told them exactly what happened. They said, I said, okay, cool. They said that, she said that, she basically told the truth. She was just like, yeah, he didn't do anything. It was me that started it, blah, blah, X, Y, and Z. They were just like, okay, cool. We need to process some other things before you leave. And I said, okay, cool. Before you do that, could you make sure that before I go, you grab my phone? Yeah, maybe she had some peas. I said, can you make sure you take all of that so I can, as soon as I leave, I can go in it. They're just like, okay, cool. So they've put me back into the holding cell because she's given her testimony, blah, blah. So after a couple more hours have gone, so I went in there at 8 p.m. I didn't come out of there till 4 a.m. in the morning. So I've come out at 4 a.m. and I told the guy that's just like, okay, cool. Have you gotten my stuff? They said, we've got some. I said, okay, cool. They just didn't manage to get some money from her. I said, okay, cool. I'll wait for her to come out. I thought that they released me first. They released her first. So I've got out of the station And I'm waiting. I'm just like, rah, where is this? Like, I need my stuff. I started texting her like, yo, are you out yet? I need my stuff. I need to go home. X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. No response. Rang, no response. Went into the station. Blah, blah. Yeah, she's gone. We've released her already. Oh my God. This was the... And I never forget, I went to her car where it was parked. I never forget it. And I wanted to brick her car. Like, I was so pissed off. I had no peas. How am I getting home? How am I getting home, please? And this is the thing. When something like this happens, yeah, I'm not calling my boys and telling them this is what's happened to me.
Can I ask you, okay, this is...
I'm not calling my boys because, listen, I didn't call anyone.
I know, but why wouldn't you call for help?
Bruv, it's embarrassing. It is literally like, it's embarrassing. I'm not gonna tell man, oh, bruv, this is what happened. And at that age, not everybody had the resources to help you in that situation. Being honest, like if I'm now, yeah, I'll probably like, yo, call my boys.
And this is what I want to talk about this stuff, because of the fact that if that was, God forbid, you've got a little sister in it. If that was your little sister, you would expect her to be calling people, right?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then it's the kind of normal for a girl to be like, yeah, but it's sad. I'm actually sad to hear that you felt like I can't even call no one.
I didn't even want to tell my mum. I didn't call anyone. So I remember I went to the train station. Some guy allowed me to get on the train. Took the train to Grays, and they gave me NFA on that paperwork thing. And I never forget when my mum picked me up from Grays. I didn't tell her what happened. I didn't tell her. I remember I got home. I sent the girl that I was in a relationship with at that time. I just said, just send me the rest of my money and never talk to me again. And that was the first. I think that normally they say when you break up with somebody, you think about them or you speak to them. Since that day, I had never, till today, like, even though there has been no like, not even past it. I don't even know her socials. It's almost as if I just swept the whole under the rug. I said, that's the end of that. Late night text, like.
What did you say to your mom?
I think I told her, like, okay, cool. I didn't tell her fully, but I was doing police training at the time. So I had to
remember I wanted to...
Yeah, I remember because we were talking about it. Yeah. So I had to tell them that, yo, man has been arrested, innit? And then it was from that, then I now told my mum that, oh, this is what happened. And then she was like, what? And I was just like, yeah. So I didn't tell my mum. It was a long time before I started telling people, like, because, like, oh, how's your girl? I was just like, oh, not even, like, what happened? I just broke up. And then later down the line, when people ask me, be like, yo, yeah, so this is what happened, X, Y, and Z. The reason being is because more is that people met her.
So would you feel like a lot of people would be like, no way? Like,
yeah, no way.
Like that, or...
like, it's just like, oh, how could you allow that to happen? Like, where is your... Or even just getting into that situation. Like, just for a woman to even just...
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how did that affect you? I'd say maybe mentally, mentally and emotionally, like, how did that affect you? Because I'm sure it must have had some kind of effect, because you said you didn't date for a while.
Yeah,
so
but...
was that more like because you're over a woman, or did you feel like you don't trust them?
After her, I still dated. No, after her, I still dated, but I feel the effects of that situation. What started to happen now is that every situation when I'm upset, I just keep quiet. I will not say anything because that's my way of dealing. Like, I will just push because I would say I'm almost afraid to actually go face to face with the situation because I don't know how much it can escalate.
So basically the confrontation.
And to be honest, I'm going to be honest, I don't know how to deal with confrontation. I'll just shut up. I just keep quiet. Just like, okay, cool. If that's what you want to do. Or, yeah, I don't know how to deal with confrontation. I'm still trying.
Are you still like that?
There's residue. I'll never say there's residue. I hate dealing with confrontation. Like, it's just, put it like this, yeah. I hate dealing with confrontation to the point where I don't even like pulling up somebody on something that they've done. I feel like, if I'm being honest, I feel like when people look at me, they will just look at me like, okay, cool. Yeah, let's just deal with this in a calm manner rather than me actually saying at heart, I'll just be like, okay, I'm not going to deal with this. If somebody's done something to me, even if somebody bumps me in a train, like by mistake, I'll just be like, okay. Or even in a restaurant, I'm not the kind of guy to be saying, excuse me, you got my food wrong. I'll just be like, okay, cool. Just
Don't let me go out with you.
just, yeah, I'm very, it has been frustrating. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. But yeah, I definitely, that has definitely been something that has lingered, 100%. It lingered a lot, so.
So I know that you're in a relationship now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you can genuinely, obviously there's a big difference, I don't even need to know, but what would you like?
I'm dead.
No, but like I was gonna ask, do you feel like there's a big difference? Obviously there is, but how can you tell there's like this positivity in this relationship? Because I'm sure that here and there you have your disagreements, but it doesn't get to that level, obviously.
I would say the only way I know that this is positive is because like I had to actually work on myself. Okay. I don't feel like the old version of me could be in this. Nah, it wouldn't have worked.
And when you say the old version, what's the difference between the old version and the new version of you?
Just with regards to handling just confrontation.
So you
and
guys speak?
Yeah, we speak, and I just used to have this. It's really not a good trait to have. Being able to express oneself, I couldn't do it. I didn't really know how to express. It was never really a strong point. It's something that I actually had to be single for a long time to know that, okay, cool, it's actually okay to express yourself before. I'll just keep quiet. If I'm pissed off, I'll swallow it.
So would you say now you're more open with your friends as well in
terms
of stuff that used to be like embarrassing? Now you just
I am fully open with my friends. I think like when you're honest and you like, because everybody's different, how you handle situations will be 100% different from how I handle it. But I need to know. I think that's why I took the year out before I got into this relationship, because I needed to understand myself. How do I deal with situations? How do I handle it? What are my triggers? What are my urgent points? Like, what can I do? Can I express myself? Can we communicate in a way? Because if not, before you know it, you start communicating in some different ways. You're doing little things, or push hair, shove there. Before you know it, the whole cycle has started again. So
sorry to cut you off. When you was working on yourself, did you ever get therapy or?
I got therapy, but it wasn't related to that situation. Therapy's good. It's really good. I really I feel that a lot of these things, I would say that you don't want to show weakness, man. You don't want to show weakness. You just want to show, but like, by the time you get older and you move out of, I feel like when you move out of social setting, when you're younger, you've got school, you've got secondary school, you're in social settings until probably after uni, whereas like you're in a work setting, you're not around your group of friends as you normally are. If you're in uni, you're around your boys all the time. But, when you're at work, you're around your colleagues. If you're not, how frequently, like even as you're working now, how frequently do you see your friends? Like everybody, like last time we saw Tifair and them lot. We don't often, you don't see it often, but the pressure when you're growing up, and I feel like you need the therapy more at those ages than you do like when you're, because if you get it then, you're more unlikely to conform to some things. If something's actually happening to you, you can actually speak up about it, but you don't want to be you're not going to tell your friends, man's getting hit by my girl, like, girl, look at you though.
So what would you advise someone that has gone through what you've gone through and they're not really ready, not ready to speak about it, but they don't know how to speak about it, or someone that's going through it right now, how would you advise them?
Personally, I would say that if there's any kind of physical contact in any of the like relationships that you're doing, that's not a hug or that you just need to exit. I would like.
And the controlling side as well.
Yeah, I would say that.
I feel like that's hard because you don't realize it as much when it's coercive. The coercive control is really hard because it's a pattern over time, I think.
That's hard. I would say, I can't say if I'm ranking them because everybody's different, but I feel like a physical if somebody has put their hands on you in a relationship, you need to move immediately, because the tendency for that to happen again, the precedent has already been set. With the verbal, personally, I feel that you need to be very careful about it. Like, if somebody said it, you need to address it there and then. Like, if somebody's, even as small as somebody saying shut up or using an F word or swear word against you. Like, I remember, all of that swearing, stuff like that, I don't do that now. Like, I'll just be like, okay, cool. We'll find another way, we'll just speak calmly. But once you've said that, because it's so aggressive in nature, everybody's different. Some people it will work for. But for me, if I'm giving like personal advice, I'll say that, if you're that, be very careful of that, watch that. And I feel that people just need to take some time out for themselves before getting into something. Because the more you love yourself, you understand the level of, your level of how you need to be treated, regardless of any situation. If somebody tried to manipulate you, be like, yo, no, I'm not having that, because you're already so sure in yourself. And I feel like what you said, coercion or something, what they try to do, they sow seeds of doubt. It makes you doubt yourself, makes you question yourself. And then once that seed has grown, that person can double down on it. Because it could first be like, for example, I don't think that dress looks particularly nice on you today, or you might have put on a little bit of weight or something like that. Like, once you say that, the person's gonna the person will be like, okay, cool. But they've planted a seed there, and then you start questioning them. Before you know it, they're talking about, don't really think you should be eating that. Don't really think you should. Before you know it, you're fat. You effing, and then before you're wondering, how did it get to this level? So, and you know what's funny? I would even say, a lot of this could start when you're young, from your parents as well. You need to so when you're getting older, you need to, our generation, because that generation before us, they're a bit strong-headed, but you need to be able to notify or to see that, okay, if somebody said to you, even if I'm speaking, I can't speak to my child like that, because it damages their confidence. If I can damage their confidence like that, how much more an outsider? It's going to be so easy. So comparison, why don't you look like that? Or why is it, So if you're sure in yourself, if somebody says that to you, you're going to back that off immediately. Just be like, yo, why are you talking to me like that? And that will actually G-check them, like, bro, okay. I can't, it's not somebody that I can run that with. And I think even before you get into a relationship with somebody, some people might show themselves within the talking stages. It will be hard, but they might say some things, just be like, no, I don't agree with that.
Red flags, basically.
Red flags. Don't try and beat me down. Don't try and, if you take some time away from yourself and don't try and look for the love in that person, because I think that's what we tend to do. We want that person to save us. Whereas if we love ourselves the most, and I think that's what's happened, I can personally say that for me now, there's nothing like literally anyone can say to me now that's gonna affect me, like, just like, but it's taken, and like, it's even known with my parents as well. Like, my dad will say something, I'd be like, bro, we're not doing that. You could have done that when I was younger. Do you understand what I'm saying? But that's not happening now. You understand what I'm saying? Once you learn, like, they always preach about it now in this generation, this day and age, self-love. You love yourself the most, then what happens is that when you get a partner and stuff, you're not looking for somebody who will love you as much. You're looking just for somebody who will compliment you. They'll just do that. So if you can focus on yourself as much as possible before jumping on the next thing, and to me personally, that was the best thing that, happened to me. It should be plain, no matter how long it takes, it'll be plain sailing from there. That's what I say.
Thank you so much. Like, I'm blown away. You know what? I've got something for you. Sorry, I was meant to leave on this table, but I forgot. 1 second. Give me a minute.
What do I have?
A present.
Oh, I got a gift. Wow. Is it Chinese?
Hey, chai. You wish. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Just to say thank you for coming on the show.
Look at that.
And whenever you use it,
Lion
remind
King.
you of me. Bye.
Lion King. Look at that. Oh, thank you.
It will remind you of me, a hype. And I just want to say thank you for sharing your story, because ultimately, obviously, you seem quite confident in telling your story now, but it's still a big story. Like,
it is.
It's not something that's just easy, and I feel like a lot of people might be shocked to hear it. Do you get what I mean?
You think so?
I don't know. But do you get what I mean? Because I'll be honest, looking at you, I'll be very honest, you wouldn't think that would happen to you, because you're quite muscly. You've always been, muscly.
Nah, it can happen to it can happen to
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Most time, this is the stereotype. I'll be honest, I'm stereotyping you right now. You wouldn't expect that to happen, because like you said, when things were happening, you knew already in your head, like, if I do something, it's done. It's long.
It's just long.
Do you get what I'm saying?
It's so long.
So for you to endure that, it's mad.
Yeah, but I'll just to even just put that, a lot of these things happen when people are younger.
Yeah,
I would say, you know what? I can't say a lot.
You was already at the gym when I met you, bro.
Yeah,
so you was already
but the
muscly.
reason why I'm saying is that I was gonna say a lot of it happens to people when they're younger, but I don't know any statistics. But I'm just gonna say, from experience, men who are younger will not really. As you get older, you just realize that.
It's kind of like you get your voice.
Yeah, you get, because when you're younger.
That's what I'm saying. I'm glad that you got your voice, because
You're
it's
not allowing.
Because now you're able to encourage others that have been or are going through it, and hopefully
definitely.
young people or people that just don't have a voice be able to look at this and be like, you know what? Do you know what I mean?
Hopefully.
But thank you so much, and thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, because I really did. We are back with a new season, baby. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel.
Like, comment, and subscribe. You know the vibes.
Bye.
Bye.